Today is the second Sunday in ordinary time, but technically speaking, it is the first Sunday because last Sunday, being the feast of the baptism of the Lord, brought to a close the Christmas season. This season is called the ordinary time not because it is ordinary, but because there is no particular aspect of the mystery of Jesus Christ that we are focusing on. In Christmas, we focused on the mystery of the incarnation, that God became man, accepted to be born. And throughout the season of Christmas, we were focusing on that infant born, the infant king, worshiping him, adoring him, paying him homage, and reflecting on the infancy and other mysteries surrounding the infant born. But the foundation of all those is God's love for humanity. And that love even continues in our readings today, in our liturgy. Imagine God in the first reading from the prophecy of Isaiah, telling us, I will not be silent. I will not keep quiet for things concerning you until my purpose for you comes to fulfillment. That is the nature of God we have. The God we worship. The God who loves us. The God who takes care, who is interested in the history of humanity, who intervenes. The God who comes to meet us where we are, who is ever there supporting us. And this brings about the courage, the hope, the trust in such a God. That is the God that we love. But then in this, two things are involved. The love of God and our own invitation to respond to that love. God has called us for a purpose. God has invited us to journey with him, to participate in his own life, that through that others may come to the knowledge of God. And that is what is being described to us today. That nation that is abandoned, that nation that is not known, that nation that is forsaken, is in turn accepted, becomes the delight of God. This is also true of each one of us individually. In case you feel abandoned, forsaken, that God is not interested, God tells you today that no, I will not keep quiet. I will not be silent until your vindication comes, until your name is heard, until you become the beauty of the Lord, until you become the Lord's married. Imagine what that means. Using the intimacy, this love between husband and wife, to express the love God has for humanity, for each one of us individually and as a nation, as a people set apart, called, chosen by him. That is the choice of the Lord. Until you become my delight, until you become wedded, until you go into this union with God. How does that make you feel? That God takes special interest in you, even in the midst of your troubles. When you think there's no more hope, all roads are blocked, all roads are closed for you, all doors are closed for you, and God appears to give you hope, to tell you that he's interested in you, that you are his special choice. That gives us life. It brings life in us. It makes us respond joyfully. And to show you that that is what God has done, God tells us again in the prophecy of Isaiah, even if a woman forgets her baby on suckling, I will not forget you, because I have carved you on the palm of my hand. I have tattooed you. I have inscribed you. So that each time I look at my palm, I see you. I see your name. You are ever present to me. You are not forgotten. That is the joy that comes with this time, this prophecy of Isaiah. And this takes us to the gospel of today. The intervention of Jesus in the predicament of this couple. And also that shows us the role Mary, the mother of God, plays, interceding for the people. He went to the son and said, they have no wine. Even though Jesus hesitated, woman, what does that mean to me? My time has not come. But of course, Mary knew and understood that he would do something, and went to the waiters and said, do whatever he tells you. Listening to the word of God, listening to the instructions. And the miracle happened in the hands of these waiters, of these servants. That shows that God needs our own faith. It needs our own trust. It needs our own collaboration to do that miracle that you are desiring, that you are praying for. It was St. Augustine that said, the God who created without you will not save you without you. He will do what he can do as God and allow you what he has empowered you. He has given you the power, the ability to do. So as you pray, you also need to work. You also need to act. Bring that faith, that prayer into action. Don't just wait for God to do everything for you, even the ones you can do for yourself. But we need to listen to him, to acknowledge him, to accept him. We need to obey him. We need to put into practice his word that we have heard. What he asked the waiters to do were unimaginable. It was foolish in human logic. It was unthinkable to draw water and then serve the people as wine. But Mary already prepped them, and they acknowledged, they respected the words of Jesus. This means that at the beginning of this year, we need to invite Jesus into our lives. We need to invite his mother, who is always observant and sensitive, interceding for us, even when we haven't asked, let alone when we come to her. She sees our predicaments. She sees our struggles. She sees our needs. But then he tells you today, do whatever he tells you, no matter how foolish that may be in your own sight. Do whatever he tells you, because the Lord delights in you. The Lord wants to incorporate you into his own life. He gives you hope. He wants you to have the fullness of life. and he will not abandon you. For he does not abandon those that he has created. God is still God, even in the midst of troubles. And for what God has done, the psalmist invites us to proclaim that deed. Proclaim the wonders of the Lord among all the peoples. We have been charged to do this. Let us proclaim him both by words and by deeds. In whatever we do, always uphold the goodness of God, remembering that he loves you and he's delighted in you. He's excited whenever he thinks about you, whenever he remembers you. He's excited. You give him joy. And you should keep giving him joy by the way you live your life, aligning your life with his own dictates, with his own instructions. So let's make conscious effort to discern the mind of God for us, to listen to the voice of God, and be courageous to put it into practice, even when it doesn't make sense to you or to those around you.